So today is lecture number 17, week number 3, and in last class we were doing this question, exercise 9b, question number 1, right? And we had covered only first part, that is A from P, right? Let me first complete the figure. In this figure we have one more line of B and the angle is 15 degree. Now there are 6 parts in this question. First, I hope that all of you had tried it by yourself and you have done your question number 1, right? It was an easy question and we have done 3-4 examples in last class similar to question number 1. Now question number 2, part A, we had done already, right? Its answer is 0.55, starting from part B. Now part B is find the bearing of B from P. Now B from P, again the north should be of point P, that is already highlighted, right? And we need to find the angle from the north of P until we reach the point B. That means this angle is what we are exactly looking for. But the same example I have explained you in last class. I was driving the car and at the point B I moved forward 15 degree forward, and then I realized that I come 15 degree forward. What I will do, I will move backward, right? So if starting from the north till the point this line I covered an angle of 180 degree, and after the coverage of 180 degree I realized that I have covered extra 15 degrees, so I need to subtract it, right? So 180 minus 15, it will be 165 degree, right? So that is part B answer. Moving on to the next part, part C. It says C from P. The same concept, north of P is highlighted now, right? We need the angle from P till the point line C. So from P I am going towards the line C. 90 degree I had covered, 180 degree covered, 270 covered, and now I need extra 47 degree, right? So what I should write it down? It will be 270 plus 47, right? So its value is 317 degree. That is the bearing of C from P. Now these 3 parts are comparative easy. The next 3 parts are find the bearing of P from A. Now for part D it says P from A. When I explained you the rules of bearing, I have told you that whatever the word written after word from, you need to make north of this point. Can you see the north of A? Of course not. For that purpose you need to first draw the north of A. So I am drawing it with the blue pen. So that is the north of A, right? I am going to write it down with the red pen. So that is north of A, and from the north of A, after that we need to highlight the unknown angle, right? So unknown angle is from the north of A till the line that connects AP. This angle we are looking for, right? We are going to apply these 4 steps discussed in last class. Make north, highlight unknown angle, and then identify alternate angles. That is very important, right? So we know that all norths are parallel to one another. That means this line and this line is parallel, this one and this one also parallel, right? So highlight the Z angle, it will be like this, right? It means that if this angle is 35, this angle with the help of alternate angles is also 35 degree. Now you need to find the angle And how you are going to find it? Let's see. Starting with the north, I am driving the car, right, and I have reached this point, means that I had covered an angle of 270. At this point I realized that I had covered an extra 35, so I need to subtract 35. So 270 minus 35, it's 235 degree. That is the answer of P from A, right? After P from A, we have P from B. P from B. Same working. We need to plot the north at B. First step. After plotting the north, highlight the unknown angle. So starting with the north until the line P and B connects, this one. Highlight the unknown angle and then highlight Z. Now you see we need to use that 15 angles. So Z is, I am going to highlight. That is also a Z, right? After identification of Z, the alternate angle of this angle is at the pointed corner, right? So the pointed corner is present just right here. So this angle is 15. Now starting with the north, if you covered the total circle, that means you had covered 360 degree. But then you realize that you had covered extra 15, so you need to subtract 15, so it's 345 degree, right? And the last part, it's C from P. Same method, C from P. First thing, you need to plot the north at C. North at C. Highlight the unknown angle, that means this angle is unknown. Now the Z1, the Z is reflected in this case. After the Z1, alternate angle, if this angle is 47, it means that this angle is also 47. So if you are finding the bearing starting with the north, from this line to this point we had covered 90. We still need 47 more, so it will be 90 plus 47, right? So 90 plus 47 gives you the value of 137, and that is the answer of all 6 parts, right? So I hope that now all of you have an idea how to solve bearing questions, right? So moving towards the next question from your book, it's question number 3, exercise 9B. You can see the figure on your screen. There are 6 parts. Find the bearing of Q from P. So Q from P means from the north of P, that is already highlighted, till the line Q. That means you need to travel from P, north of P, till Q. This one, right? So first one has answer of 36. It is given, and we are going to write it down, 036 degree. That is first part answer. Second one, P from Q. P from Q means that now you need to highlight the north of Q. That is not highlighted right now. So we need to make the north on Q, right? That is the north of Q. The second point is to highlight the unknown angle. So this angle, this one is basically the bearing we are looking for. Now if you have in your mind that this 37 angle will be this one, no, this line is not parallel to this one, right? If I make a scale complete, it will be like this. These 2 lines are parallel, not this one. So it is a mistake here if you consider this line and this line are parallel. They are not parallel. Secondly, this line and this line, yes, they are parallel, both are not, they are parallel. You can find the alternate angles. I'm going to share it, this one, right? So if this angle is 36, it means that this angle is also 36 degree, right? Now we need to find the bearing. Look closely. Starting from the north, you had covered 180 degree till south, and after this south you need to cover 36 degree more. So it will be 180 plus 36, that is 216 degree, right? That is your part 2 answer. Now I am going to remove it so that I can explain further questions here easily, right? Now after part 2 we have part C, R from P. R from P means north of P. North of P is already highlighted. Starting from the north of P till the line connects P and R. So starting from the north of P till the line connects P and R, bingo, I reached there, right? So the angle I had covered in part C, 36 and 37. So I need to add these two angles. So I think it will be 73. 36 plus 37. Yes, 73, right? So we need to add 0 in the beginning. It's 2 digits, so we have to make it 3. So till now we had done A, B and C. Now starting with the part D, P from R. That means I need to make an north of R. So I am going to make north at the point R. That is north, right? Till that north I am going till the point P. So find the bearing. This angle is unknown, right? Now we need to identify alternate angles, Z. Now in this question there is a little bit different Z. If you flip your screen or see in this manner, that is your Z, right? That is your Z. So this whole angle is 73. That means this whole angle here is also 73 degree. How we are going to find the bearing? Starting with the north, right? North till south we had covered 180, and after that 180 we need to cover 73 more, right? So it will be 180 plus 73, that is 253 degree, right? After that part E. So I am going to remove it so that I can explain better the next part. Part E says Q from R. Q from R, that means north of R, and I am going to find from north till the angle this one, right? In last part we had find out the angle from north of R till the point P. This angle we had find out it's 253. Now look closely in your figure. If starting from the north till the line P we have angle 253. Now we need 43 degree more to reach this line, right? To reach this line we need 43 more. So it will be 253 plus 43 gives you answer 296 degree, right? I hope that this question is clear to you till now. And the last part, R from Q. R from Q, that means need the north of Q. So I am going to highlight the north with the red pen. That is north of Q. R from Q means we need to find this angle, right? We need to find this angle. In the starting of the question, we derived that this angle is 36 degree because this angle are parallel. Now the total angle is 100. If this angle is 36, you can find out the leftover part. 100 minus 36, that is equals to 64. So this angle here is 64, right? We need to find the red angle. Now look closely. Starting with the north, you are going, and you reach this point. That means you had covered 180, and then you realize that you came 64 degree extra. So now you need to subtract 64 degree. So it will be 180 minus 64 degree. So 180 minus 64 gives you the value of 116 degree, and that is your answer. So now you have the answers of all 6 questions, right? You need to watch the video separately for each part because I have rubbed the working of that particular part after completed it, so that you can understand each part clearly, right? So moving on to the next question. Next question from your book, it's question number 4. A point Q is 24 km from P and on a bearing of 72 degree from P. 72 degree from P, that means we are talking about the north of P. So you need to sketch your figure first. I am going to plot the north of P. Right, so this point is P, and that is the north of P. Point Q is 72 degree from P. So 72 degree lies in this quadrant, right? So 72 degree, that is point Q, and this angle is 72 degree because we are talking about bearing, and bearing always measures from the north. From Q, Vishal walks at a bearing of 320. Now from Q means I need to plot the north of Q. So from Q, north of Q, this one. From Q, Vishal walks at a bearing of 320. Now 320 means this way, right? At a point R located directly north of P. Okay. So now I need to make a line with the green pen. This one. Right? And this line is straight above the point Q. It says north of point Q, and this point here is my point R. Right? The bearing angle I know is 320. So this whole angle is 320 degree, right? Find the distance between P and R. P and R, that means you need to find this distance X. And we have the distance from P to Q, it's 24 kilometer as given. Right, so that is our question. How we are going to find it? First you need to stop the video and try it by yourself. Now you know that this angle is 320. That means you can find out the remaining angle. It will be 360 minus 320, that will be 40. Right, so this short angle is 40. And if you apply the concept of parallel lines, these two lines are parallel, that means this angle is also 40 degree. Right? Now you have a triangle, and in that triangle two angles are known. means that you can find out the third angle as well. Just add 72 plus 40 and add this value from 180. 72 plus 40 minus 180, it's 68. That means this angle is 68 degrees, right? Now you need to find the value of x. It is not a right angle triangle, so now we need to apply further trigonometry and we need to apply law of sine here, right? So what the law of sine says? It's side upon the angle, right? So side, let's suppose I pick x, so it will be x divided by sine 68 is equals to 24 divided by sine 40, right? That is a sine rule. You can find the value of x easily by cross multiplication. It will be 24 divided by sine 40 multiplied by sine 68. So sine 68 is 0.927 multiplied by 24 divided by sine 40. It's 34.6. So the distance x is 34.6 and the unit is kilometer because 24 distance is in kilometers, right? The next part, it says the distance between Q and R. Q and R means this value. So how you are going to find this distance? Again, by using law of sine we can do it. Our expression will be y divided by sine 72 is equals to 24 divided by sine 40. Now if you have a question that why I didn't take the side x, keep in mind that never take a chance to use those values that you have calculated unless you don't have any other option. In my case, I have an option 24 and 40 because the reason is that if somehow the value of x is wrong and I use this value to find the value of y, that means ultimately my y value will also be wrong. So that's why I use the data given in question. So it will be y is equals to 24 divided by sine 40 multiplied by sine 72. You need to simplify it. 72 sine multiplied by 24 divided by sine 40. It's 35.5 and that is the distance. Right, that is your final answer. If you faced a problem in law of sine, so let me remind you its working formula says a divided by sine a is equals to b divided by sine b is equals to c divided by sine c, and that formula we applied in this question. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 5 from your book. A petrol kiosk P is 12 km due north of another petrol kiosk Q. So first thing, I am going to highlight the point Q, and to the north of Q, yes, I have a point P, right? And the distance is 12 kilometers. The bearing of police station R from P is 135. Now starting from P, I am going to plot the point R, right, and it is 135 degree, and that from Q is 120. So if I am going to plot it, so it says from P it's 135, that means from the north of a P this angle is 135, right? it's 135, and from Q it's 120. Now from Q it's 120 means it's, sorry, not like this. From Q it's 120 means it's like this, right? And from P it like the same. So that is my point R. I'm going to rub the extra part. So that bearing is 135, right? And that bearing is 120, and that is my point R. So that is my figure. Find the distance between P and R, so that means this value is X. Now what things we know? We have the bearings, that means angles are known, right? You know that if QP is a straight line, then you can find this angle easily. How? We know that angle of a straight line is 180 degree. That means if you subtract 135 from 180, it will be 45 degrees, right? And 45 in your figure is this angle, right? Now that is a triangle. In that triangle, two angles are known. That means that you can find out the third angle R easily by adding these two angles. 120 plus 45 gives you 165, and 180 minus 165, it will be 15 degree, right? That means the angle R is 15 degree. Now all the angles of a triangle are known, one side is known. That means again we are going to use law of sine. So that is angle R, that means side R. If this is angle P, side P, and if this is angle Q, side Q, which is represented by X. So I am going to write the working formula in terms of P, Q and R. It will be P divided by sine P is equals to Q divided by sine Q is equals to R divided by sine R. Now which two sides we are going to take? At first we need to pick 120 and X, that means Q. So instead of Q I am going to write X, and instead of sine Q it will be sine 120. Now the next side I am going to pick is R. So R is 12, and angle R we had find out it's 15 degree. Right? Now it's an easy question. First arrange it. X is equals to 12 divided by sine 15 multiplied by sine 120. If you find out the values by using calculator, so sine 120 is 0.866 times 12 divided by sine 15, that is 0.26 is equals to X. So 12 multiplied by 0.866 divided by 0.26, it's 39.96, right? And the unit that is given in the question is kilometer. So now the answer is 39.96 kilometer. That is your answer. So that is the answer of your question, right? So keep in mind that when you are solving bearings, so you have a good idea of sine law, cosine law, how to apply them, what is the working formula. where we apply law of sine, where we apply law of cosine, because in paper there is a mixture question. The trigonometry question consists on 12 marks in your CIs, right? And in those 12 marks, 4 marks covered by law of cosine, 3 marks majority cases, in sometimes it covers 4 marks as well, but majority cases 3 marks covered by law of sine, 2 marks covered by area, and approximately 2 to 3 marks covered by bearings, and the remaining marks will be covered by a word problem. That is a distribution of marks of the topic trigonometry in your CIs. It covers a good weightage in paper too, right? So you need to work on bearings, right? In paper, in CIs, there are not such complicated word problems like we are doing from the book. In CIs, the word problems are quite easy, but the other questions levels are quite high. Such type of questions are not included in the book, right, in which we need to find the highest angle of depression or elevation. So you need to work strong on bearings, because this topic is very confusing to some students. So I have explained you all the rules, how to apply those rules, where should we apply the concept of alternate angles, right? All the rules from basics to advanced level we had discussed in these 2 classes regarding bearings. Now in further classes we are going to implement the same rules, right? So you need to practice all those rules by yourself. You need to practice all the questions, and it does not matter if I solve the question in the class. You need to do it by yourself. While you are practicing, try to not see in your copy, try to not see the solution and do it by yourself. If you do your practice in such way, then it will be beneficial. It will be for long term, not for short term, right? So I hope that all of you will follow my instructions. It will be beneficial for you, not for me. So please, I request you to practice the topic, right? Inshallah, in next class we are going to cover some more complicated problems of bearings from the book, and once we go through the questions from the books, then I will touch some questions from the past papers to give you an idea how the examiner asks the questions, right? So see you in next class. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.